You are watching Access LaPorte County, Channel 97. Coming up next is the June 17th, 2024 meeting of the Michigan City Urban Enterprise Association. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
It'll make you do a pencil. Okay, let's go ahead and do roll call. Bruce.
Here.
Jim.
Here.
Tristan.
Here.
Nick.
Here.
Tommy here.
We're at quorum.
We're at quorum, but I do.
Ronnie's on his way.
He is. What about
Said he was just a
Sylvia?
couple minutes late. She said she was coming, but
Okay.
she's on Zoom.
Do we have anybody on Zoom by
Joe
chance?
said
Do you
he'll
know?
be on Zoom if he's not here in person.
Joe did say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and look at the minutes. Take a few minutes, you guys, and look that over. And if you have any questions or concerns.
Okay.
Damn, there he is. There's the man.
Say here. You know, I did just in time.
Rodney here.
You're the art. Never mind.
Never mind that.
What's happening, man? What are you doing?
I got him.
What? They talked about hour. Can they talk about the second? So can we talk about the second meeting?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm just getting it chicken.
Okay, that's some of the things.
It's not anything we need to discuss now.
Yeah, Jim.
Everything else is like from. How you doing?
Hope it's a lot longer.
Rodney, we're looking at the minutes for approval. From June 5th, special meeting. That's pretty quick and to the point. Anybody?
And we have April as well.
April and May. But we need to go ahead and approve those minutes from June 5th for those.
Move to accept the minutes from June 5th.
Is there a second? Jim?
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes.
Tristan?
Yes.
Rodney?
Yes.
Nick?
Yes.
Tommy, yes. Motion, minutes approved from June 5th. Director's report.
Meeting minutes April 29th.
Oh, well, you got it under here, but okay, my bad. April 29th and June 5th.
So April 29th.
Move to accept the
April.
29th, 2024 minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Bruce.
Yes.
Jim.
Yes.
Tristan.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
Tommy, yes. Move to June 5th. Minutes, please. Review of this. Take a minute. Let's look at it.
We approve those.
We approve those? June 5th. What am I looking at then? May? Nothing. Director's report.
Okay, so
No, May. Hold on. What is this here? Financial report. We haven't got to that yet. My bad. Director's report. Moving too fast.
slow down. Alright.
I'm ready to go. Yeah.
So residential grant application to be looking at today will be Kiana Edwards, Marlene Kelly, and Charlie. If Rodney brought the rest of the documentation we needed for him, if not, we'll have to table that for next time. Business grant application is Lefco. Last meeting, the board approved Maurice Orr. His project is underway. They've worked with the contractor, making payment directly to them. As our application does state, we can do that for residential grants only. And Ritz Club Tavern is having progress made as well.
So Ritz Club doing with them.
With the facade. Yeah, updating, painting.
Love that place.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
They've done a great job. I've gone by. I don't believe in us doing this and not going out and looking, so I go.
Yeah.
And I've gone by there a couple of times, but this last time, just last Friday, they were back up there working again. They are doing a tremendous job on that building. It looks amazing through front and back. I think it's just going to really bring more attention and business to downtown Michigan City. I'm very impressed with what I saw. Is there any concerns or thoughts that you have, Gabrielle, as far as what you've seen in some of the requests that you have received from the community?
You mean like as far as applications?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Was there anything glaring?
There was just a couple that, like, I wasn't sure if they met our income qualifications, like the one we're waiting on a wife to find out if she had income. Then there was one that didn't qualify, which I notated on the agenda as well, that he did not qualify due to finances. Also just asking all of our members, if you guys get an application, get it to me at least 10 days before a meeting so I have time to get it to you guys and double check everything.
And that's really important, you guys. So just, I mean, she said it really fast, but it's just really, really important that we understand that all the qualifications and meeting them is important. So have the conversation with the folks when you do give out an application. Just don't give the application because you don't want to take them through a whole bunch of stuff for nothing and get to the other side of this and find out they don't qualify. We have a couple of issues and concerns about applications that are here now about some of the requests, and I know that we've talked about if it really can make an impact, and it goes back to what you've been talking about, Tristan, about a Band-Aid or a quick fix but not something that's lasting. I don't know if we're in the business for determining that, but what I do know is that when we have requests for support for a new roof or for new windows or something of that nature where it's really making a difference for an elderly person living in the urban enterprise zone, we take that very seriously because we should be taking it seriously. But when we do get something from a business that is in question, I think that it's really important and incumbent upon us to really understand what it's asking for and how we're supposed to support that. And we have a couple of those in front of us that we've tabled that we probably need to address. And it's a hard one, and it's going to really test maybe our thoughts about why we're sitting here, but I really think that we need to really think about it. So with that being said, do we have any? Go ahead.
You said we have some business nurses been tabled?
We have, yes, we've actually, go ahead.
It wasn't tabled. We just had no quorum last month to address it.
Well, but we started to talk about it, didn't we?
No.
At some point?
No.
I thought we had a conversation about Flying High. Maybe it was,
It was you and I.
it was, okay. I know that it was a conversation about what and how we're supposed to support Flying High. But are we ready to go there, or do we want to do your financial? Go ahead.
So you need to do April 1st.
Can I ask some questions on it, just so I can kind of get up to
Yeah.
speed, obviously just being new?
It's,
So I can see we have a checking account and a money market account and a spend account.
yep.
The checking, do we need to carry that high of a balance to pay monthly bills? Because, you can throw it in the money market account and get 5% right now, like,
I actually
it's free
brought that
money.
up to Tommy and I asked if he knew a reason, because he's been around longer than I have. I don't know why that money isn't in the money market account.
Yeah,
to be
if we could
honest.
keep 20,000 in the checking, right,
Yes.
whatever. You can always move money back and forth.
Exactly.
Easy,
Yeah,
all the time. It's a form you fill out, they do it.
It's been that way for years, to be honest, with that balance in the money market, so I didn't know if there was a purpose for it. But that
I
is
mean,
a
I would
question
double check that
asking.
Verizon money market, because some are paying 5, some are paying anything. So make
Okay.
sure it's a
Yeah, we can do
money
that.
market, but I don't see why we would carry that balance.
It's a monthly claims document.
You wanna move,
for
make a
April.
motion on that, or for the
Thank
executive
you.
director?
Yeah, I guess is the motion to have the executive director, Gabby, to move $100,000 to a money market in Horizon.
Is
I
there,
believe 43,000, do you want to do 125? I mean, you guys, I don't know, I'm new, so I don't know how much money we need every month for bills.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much grants you guys approve too.
And, well, that's
It's
to say, you can move
grant
money back. If
Yeah,
you approve
grant
some grants, like, oh, we're
season is a
short,
lot-
you can move it back.
It's a lot more active for the bank account during these
Let's
months.
move 120,000, that would leave 23,000 in there.
Okay.
Well, I'm looking at April.
Do we know the percentage that they're paying right now?
We'll have to check into it.
yeah,
I have Verizon for my organization, and I'm getting like 5.4%.
that's amazing.
That's pretty good.
That's
Amazingly
excellent.
good.
That's
I
excellent.
usually buy
Excellent.
CDs, but I'm like, why buy a CD and tie your money up? I just leave it as money market and make
Right.
money. And it's liquid.
Right.
You know, so.
Pending, I will second that pending, you checking into it and seeing if it's gonna benefit us.
Okay, I'm sure it will. It's interest.
Roll call. Any second on that? We got a second on that. Rodney seconded. We got.
Rodney
What's that?
seconded it.
What were you gonna say, Jim?
I just had more questions. I forgot I actually had a motion on the floor.
Bruce,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Tristan,
Yes.
Rodney,
Aye.
Tommy, aye.
And then just help me again, just so I understand.
Yep.
Hello, Sylvia's here.
You hear Sylvia?
Oh,
Did you hear that?
TV
Well, we
line.
can't see her. We need to be able to see her.
Right.
You
Hold
hear
on.
the-
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
We can't see you though. Hold on just a second. Is there any way that you can pull her up?
What's to do with that?
Is
I've been here.
Things our policy was that.
Yeah, we're trying to get,
is he over here? He's not there.
I don't know if they're down there or not.
yeah, you're in,
They're still,
you're in and out, Sylvia.
So,
Okay.
And just went to sleep. Can we like just open the computer and see if it fixes it?
Here, if I turn my camera off, you can hear me better. I don't know why.
But we need to be able to see you.
Angie said that we can't vote on financial matters if they're not here.
well, I know that part of Open Door with everything that happened with COVID, for any financial matter, you have to be present physically to vote and not just on financial things, on financial matters. Everything else they can vote on if they're on Zoom.
Okay.
Financial matters, they're supposed
Well,
to.
our policy is that you gotta be seen and heard, so.
Right.
We already passed that and that's ours.
Like, approving grants be considered financial or no?
That's a good question.
But you guys are separate, as you
Yeah,
say, so.
yeah. But if it's open door, then we want to make sure. we're
But I know that that
following
was the policy adopted by the city.
Okay.
Based on what the state sent down to us about being seen and heard is to vote. Of financial matters, it states that we have to be physically present.
And that makes sense.
Listening to what Mayor Angie said, I think it makes sense we look at the bylaws and we make a decision on this question.
Yeah.
I'm okay with observing so that until we figure out the policy, as far as virtual or not virtual, then we'll find out, then we can go through it. But I'm okay with observing for tonight. It's all right.
Thank you, Ms. Collins. So we're very clear. Our policy is clear. We just need to make sure that we have it in writing what it is we prefer to happen in situations like this, because the policy is very clear. You need to be present or need to be seen in order to vote. Thank you, Mayor, for that.
Mr. Chairman, I have a couple other questions.
Go ahead.
Just again, for clarifications. So I noticed in April's, for the main checking, we did CLH CPA tax return for $625, and then also in May as well, the exact same amount. Is that like a monthly expense?
They charge it. It's not monthly. It's going to be different as the year. I think it says this year progresses, and then it will be charged. I think she said quarterly. It's just because we signed up with them. I believe it was like November. It was an odd month for us to go to them. So the way that it is billed is differently than most other companies that are having them do our tax returns.
Okay. And then one more.
That's all right.
Around all this.
You do it.
Yeah, I can get exact dates if
Yeah, you
I
is.
don't have it on hand.
So I'm just looking at, again, I'm just doing fast math in my head. So April looks like our checking ended at 143,000. And then it looks like there was about 5,000 in bills, which come from the main checking. So that's 138.
And that's usually pretty
Then
consistent.
in May, it says 136. Like, I guess, say doing fast math in my head, it's not really jiving. Unless I'm just not, again, I'm just asking questions because I don't know what I'm really looking at yet.
Can I get back to you?
Sure.
Verizon, or what are you looking at?
So-
The new claims for approval?
If you look at April's checking, right top, 143, 186, right? And then right below that, you've got claims docket main checking for April, roughly $5,000.
It could be the way that everything's written out too, because I just followed the way that it's been done for years. So every bill is on here. Part of it also is like the payroll, I calculate it out day by day, where it doesn't come out of our bank account day by day. It comes out obviously like every 2 weeks, so that could be part of that
So when you're
discrepancy.
pulling those numbers, like when you pull May's, like are you just pulling up the bank records?
Yes,
So
from
some of
the
that could be
bank
timing.
Yeah, yep,
So I think
it's
the timing
directly
needs to
from
be
the bank statement.
reflective in the month so that those numbers, because I would assume if we ever got audited or something, they're gonna be aligned just stuff not jiving, right? So
Yeah.
the timing issue is usually reflective in how it's reconciled.
Okay.
Am I saying it right?
Yep.
You don't think it's fun to have
Saying?
hour-long discussions about accrued versus
No.
cash?
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
yeah.
Doing this on a modified cash basis, right?
Yeah.
And you know, we do have further down the line officer elections, so if somebody wants to be a treasurer and help
No.
me to reconstruct how we do things, I'm completely open
Math
to
is
doing
hard.
that.
I don't know.
It's not so difficult that you couldn't support us in this because you're barking up the right tree. Those are all the things that we have since day one wanting to make sure we're in line with. And you're asking the appropriate questions. So I think you'll be the ideal person.
I just know, like, for my organization, like, the month end of April, right, you have a number, that's not reflective of
No.
what was really there, right? Because of those timing issues,
Right.
but you can really only show what was what was reconciled at that
Right.
time.
That's correct.
I nominate the eagle-eyed Jim to be our treasurer.
When we get to that,
I'm just asking questions.
Let's hold on to that thought.
I just followed the process that was done before I was here.
No, I get it.
Continued everything the same way that it was done previously.
That's all I had for questions, Mr. Chairman.
okay. Any other questions or concerns? Okay.
Okay, so we need to approve the financial.
Motion to
reports.
approve April, May financial report.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
A second? Jim,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Tristan,
Yes.
Rodney,
Aye.
Tommy, aye. Ayes have it. All right. New business.
We gotta do May as well.
I thought we just did May.
Oh, we
You
just did
said
April.
April.
I thought it was.
And May.
April, May.
I thought he did, but okay, but we gotta do a separate. Rodney's right. We have to do April and then we have to do May.
that's
So let's do May.
Second.
Is there all in favor? Nick, Jim,
Aye.
Tristan,
Yes.
Bruce,
Yes.
Rodney,
Aye.
Tommy, aye. Ayes have it.
Let's go.
So Lefco did get me a second bid at least. It was just on the materials themselves and then an installation separate. So that's in your packets.
This is from the spend account. Yeah, there's 1352, we don't even have 1352 to spend.
Jim,
Sorry.
we can talk about that after the meeting.
Okay.
How that happened and
Okay.
whatnot. That's not a normal expenditure.
Drew, excuse me, Drew, we have somebody that's trying to get in on the Zoom link. So she's not able to get in.
No, I mean, Sylvia is a participant. I believe her camera is off on her end.
She did turn it off. Perfect. Thank you. Good seeing you, Miss Collins. All right.
Got to unmute though.
Okay. I have vacillated back and forth over this conversation here, but we just need to go ahead and have it. You guys, are you looking at this request? Lefco?
I have a few questions on it.
Please do.
One, according to the bylaws and the purpose of the organization, have we done flagpoles in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, I was just curious, if you look under the Article 2, it talks about community development, aid employment, improve the physical environment, encourage turnover and retention. I'm not sure where this would fall. I'm not against anybody putting a flag up by any means. But not only that, one of the bids, it just had somebody's name, and I'm not sure, how do we not know that that person isn't like a family member or someone that just threw a number out there to give us a third estimate? So those are my two concerns with this one.
May I, Mr. President?
Please.
What will be the pleasure of the executive director?
Now take your time.
No, I've been
Take your
I've been back
time.
and forth on this one too, because it's not something that is seen by a lot of the community. It's not something that's beautifying the neighborhood. It's not going to give back to us in any way by increasing a property value. So I would recommend not to approve this one.
What is Lefco? What do they do?
Compressor air parts.
Right.
Yeah, it says right there.
Manufacturer.
I did notice that their lease was up in 2028 too, so it doesn't necessarily mean they're gonna be there after 2028, so I, make a motion that we deny this.
There is a motion to deny. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Go ahead. I was gonna second.
Any more discussion?
Any more discussion?
I was just gonna say that I appreciate the conversation, because it was soft in my mind and I was wavering, so I appreciate the thoughts from my fellow directors.
All right. Jim?
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Tristan?
Aye.
Rodney?
Aye.
Tommy? Aye. Ayes have it. Oh, Sylvia, Miss Collins. Can you unmute her?
She got unmuted herself.
Can you unmute yourself?
Joe,
Yes, I can.
Thank you. All right. Unanimous.
Joe is on there too.
Is Joe?
You can turn his camera on.
But can he even? Okay, let's keep going. There he
There he
is.
is.
All right, good deal. Next, Quintisha Edwards.
I always like to start off, Mr. President, by just asking what's the executive director's opinion on this? And what will
Appreciate
be your
that.
pleasure?
I'd recommend to approve.
I move to approve.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Jim,
Aye.
Bruce,
Aye.
Nick,
Aye.
Tristan,
Aye.
Rodney,
Aye.
Tommy, aye. Sylvia,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
all right, ayes have it, unanimous. Okay, Marlene Kelly. Gabrielle, could you talk a little bit about Marlene Kelly and what she's requesting, please?
Just 1 second.
It was kinda hard for me to follow some of this.
Yeah, some of them are really light too, with the quotes and stuff. Like the writing was really light.
It's at the bottom, so,
I was taking it.
He's right.
Said Marlene Kelly, right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
So she's getting windows done. She qualifies for the financial aspect of it. She had all of her information was there. The bids. So renewal, but there was a couple bids in, I think actually both of the other residentials that had monthly payments as well as an option. So I don't know if you guys saw that. So my recommendation for these would be just for us to pay the contractors directly, because if somebody's financing it, we're sending them a $5,000 check. Who's to say that they're actually going to pay those off?
Right.
It's not to say anything about the person. It would just, in my opinion, be better business to pay the contractor directly.
Motion to accept the grant with this understanding that we will pay the contractors directly.
I'll second that.
Nick,
Aye.
Jim,
Aye.
Bruce,
Aye.
Tristan, Rodney,
Aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Tommy, aye. All in favor. All unanimous. Good deal. We've done that a couple of times, and I think it's good business. I think that the fact that we are working directly with these businesses really is strengthening our partnership. I do like it when we identify those businesses in the urban enterprise zone to partner with to get those things done. Because when we start talking about windows, do we go to Myers Glass? They're in the urban enterprise zone. I'm just asking. We just need to be thinking that way even if we don't. moving forward.
I want to augment, based on something that Gabriel said. It seems like it's very important for us to have from sort of a fiscal responsibility, as Gabriel said, that we pay the vendor. I mean, if Jim comes out and does the work, and then Mr. Smith, homeowner, is short on cash and sends you half the payment, it's just going to become some kind of a boondoggle. So I just like that you said that.
And that's the way we operate.
I got a question. Do the recipients of the grants usually send you before and after pictures after the work is done?
Most of the time, yeah, we've been getting better this year about asking for pictures before and after. That way we can put together an end of the year report and say these are all the projects that we've been able to help with. Last year we had a couple that we had pictures for, but not all of them.
I got you.
Yeah, and last year we did move to make sure that there's
Documentation.
documentation. The inspection department signs off on the permits, and we know that the work has been done.
Yeah, we don't make final payment until final inspection is done by the city.
But an enhanced report with better documentation and more pictures and more telling the story is something we want to do better. And hopefully this year we will, as we put our arms around just trying to make sure that everything is kosher and in place and well seen and well documented.
How are we handling that logistically, Gabby? If like a contract says $5,000, right, and they want $1,500 down
Yeah.
to even start, how are we?
We haven't discussed that in the past about doing the down payment for them. Usually we don't make payment until the project is completed. So typically that's been on the homeowner in the past. However, we can have a conversation about doing a down payment for them as well.
And I can honestly tell you that the vendors and the contractors that we have done that with, that have responded back to us because we made direct payment to them, really appreciated it.
Yeah.
Really thought that we were doing good business as a result of supporting that community person. So I know that Gabrielle is on top of it, but I got her back too. So
The contract might even waive that down payment if they know it's coming from us.
Yeah, and that has happened.
And like, oh, like they know they're
Exactly.
I usually send them a copy
Yeah.
of, like this last guy that we were doing it for, I send them a copy of his approval letter, and then I talk to them and let them know, like, yes, we're gonna make payment, we can pay you directly, and
They appreciate it.
So as
Yeah.
part of the approval process, letting the homeowner and/or business owner know that you've been approved,
Yeah.
and also the contractors that.
We haven't in the past contacted the contractors except for in the cases of when we're paying the contractors directly.
Right.
I just want to, on this topic, and I'm going to kind of rain on this, just without getting into it, my experience with some tradesmen in northern Indiana. I don't want to be prepaying anybody unless we have a very specific protocol and it's properly documented.
Yeah.
True. Point taken.
Rodney, were you able to get the rest of the financial stuff?
Move to table. I have not received it. I didn't even go by yet.
Okay.
And I thank him for that because the community's overwhelming him. And I know sometimes you might have to start to say just contact Gabrielle directly, or and I know it don't help because they still are bringing him stuff and
Overwhelm her either.
Yeah.
I have a problem picking it up
Right.
and dropping it off.
And
I'd like to meet the people and get to know them and get
yeah, it's
hands-on
really
experience.
quite cool. But I just don't overwhelm yourself too much with it.
Is it sort of within our, I think we're still on new business, is it within our scope that we would be interacting with people in the community to sort of personally, directly sort of educate them on? Because you've made a couple comments as if to say, when you, the folks who are here, bring an application, and is that sort of a soft sort of expectation? Is that the tradition? I just want to get.
I like the way you presented it softly, gingerly. I can honestly tell you that the majority of applications that I have distributed personally, they really appreciate it. So what I would say to you is that you're here now. You're from Chicago. You're very involved. If you have neighbors that are in the home that you own, that's in the urban enterprise zone?
Yeah, I'm not in the urban. I'm at Hobart in.
But your property, right? Is that what it was? Or
Well,
was you?
He's from the
eighth-
planning commission.
Planning Commission,
Yeah.
and you were selected, okay,
Yes.
okay, I got it,
Yes.
I got it.
So I don't, listen, I'm very flexible in what I do, but the folks in my neighborhood are not the people who are eligible.
No, they're not at all. But if you know people and you meet people from the urban enterprise zone doing your work, then I would recommend them to apply for the funding because it's there for them.
Right, that's a very helpful sort of guardrail. I just hadn't really thought about that before, so I'm glad you sort of
Most
tapped
of
my
the
shoulder on
time.
that.
Okay, but I can honestly tell you a lot of times people are saying they don't know about it.
Correct.
They've never heard about it.
Correct.
And if they go to City Hall, to the website, to eMichigan City, the application is there. But it's not like having a live person to talk to. If they call the number, they're going to get a response. But I just say our mission, our job representing this board is to also to layer on that information. When we can, reach out to the persons in the urban enterprise zone and make sure that they're aware of this funding that's available. It's just that simple.
Well, I got a suggestion. Since it's summertime, it's nice. Can we set up like a day or something where we, like host an event or something for the neighborhood to come out?
Absolutely.
Program to them?
Absolutely.
They can really interact with the people.
Absolutely. I think that's a great idea.
Participate in events that are occurring maybe, and we're just kind of there with a table or something, sure.
And it almost costs nothing to do a Facebook campaign. You throw a couple $100 at
There you
Facebook
go.
campaign, it's gonna reach 25,000 people.
Or I mean, even the last event
We do it all the time.
Renfrew.
So cheap.
You've got great ideas. There's a lot.
Hold on. Let's make sure that we are getting this. What did you say? You said, okay, Facebook. And then Tristan, you said what?
The small, I think it was the small business that
Association.
we should set up a table there.
We are.
Oh, I didn't realize that. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're setting up a table.
Or even-
We actually are speaking. We will be a part of the platform.
Or even going into like the skate park and doing something there would be a good idea too. That you can contact with the community.
The skate
They're
park.
all
I'm not always attuned for these events coming up. So
There's a big
don't
grass
be-
area in the
don't be
back.
bad.
I've done an
Have me
event.
up.
I got you.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
I think we've been talking about how we participate in everything from the boat show to there was a list that we had, but we have not done that yet with anticipation of doing it.
I got you.
So with those individuals who are willing, sitting at this table to man and staff those, and on Zoom, staff those tables, we definitely can make that happen because I think it's something that we should do.
Right.
And I think everybody at the table does, right? Being a part of the city's framework, yes,
I was just gonna say, I'll stay at the table, I'm fine.
for sure. I think it would be good that everyone has an opportunity to do that.
back to Charlie.
Charlie, yes.
This table.
It's table.
Is there a second?
Is there a second to table that?
Next meeting.
Bruce,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Tristan,
Yes.
Rodney,
Aye.
Sylvia. Joe,
She's asking the question.
go ahead, Sylvia.
Do we know why I keep cutting my camera on and off?
No.
It's on her side.
Yeah. Okay, alright.
It's okay, you're still beautiful. You know I love you. I love her. And Tommy, aye. Was that it?
That's it.
Ayes have it.
Okay, so next is the city ordinance. And then Mayor Angie is here as well to talk about it.
And she is here, and I am so happy that you are able to make it, Mayor.
Oh, thank you.
We are very excited to have you here today. And thank you for coming in to talk about the new city ordinance, because we do want to hear it directly from you.
You have to have photos.
Say, I want to see if you
We
have.
passed that last year.
Okay, is there anything that you, thinking about the city ordinance, Mayor, that you feel we should know directly from you in regards to the new city ordinance, because this is in regards to how folks are using social media, right? Or is this something different? That's a part of it?
It's more than that.
Okay.
It's, we're getting ready to go through building a new website. And one of the things that we've done a poor job of in the past and right now is agendas and minutes all those things are not uploaded in a timely manner. So if I were to come to a meeting, I should be able to look at all the agendas and look at the minutes and understand what's been happening. Like, for instance, I'll give you for instance, like tonight, y'all voted on some things. For the public, I don't know what those things were, because you didn't really talk about it, right? Because it's not a part of the, I don't know if it's a part of the agenda, the full pack for the public. But the public needs to see everything, that if you're approving something that's substantial, especially if it's financial, that should be a part of your minutes and what that includes and the discussion. But I could go to any board and you can see maybe they might have met 12 times last year and might have 3 sets of minutes up there. And how can you do business or have a new board member if you don't even know what has happened over time?
You can't.
So, so certain boards and commissions don't require an agenda, and we know that, as far as how they submit it. So that's statutory for some of them. But for the most part, we've created a process so that everybody's stuff goes to one person, one mailbox. That mailbox hits the mayor's office, it hits the clerk's office, and it hits the IT department's office, so that all of us can back each other up to make sure they get uploaded. So we've said that. The conflict of interest disclosures, that's pretty self-explanatory. The social media, let me talk about that. So when it comes to city business, there's certain parameters you still have to abide by as far as archiving information. So what we found is there have been old accounts that the people are gone, have left, we can't do anything with them. You can't take the site down. Mm-hmm. Let me state this, anything that has been put on social media, we have to keep it. We have to archive it and go through a process of archiving it if it's city business. And that's through the, not the State Board of Accounts, the Inspector General's office or whoever it is. But like our Facebook page, none of us own that page. It was a firm from, I think, the Merit Administration. So we reached out to get access to owning that social media page, My Michigan City. But the person from that firm is no longer there. So you run into all these issues of, okay, how do you archive things? How do you make sure that things that are on that site, different people having control, somebody being petty or mad, and decide they want to do something with the website, right? And having members, this is a fluid, most members used to be voluntary without pay. But we've seen, we have several, it won't happen here, but several mayors have turned off the comments on their Facebook pages. And in talking to the mayor of Elkhart, it was really about, not about him or his administration being attacked. It was board members of commissions and boards that started getting attacked on their social media. And so they turned the comments off. I don't foresee that happening in Michigan City, but right now we have pages all over the place and nobody knows who owns them. And they're not being used except for when somebody has a gripe or something. And it's like, okay, we need to, first of all, consolidate, but archive them appropriately too. There is a process that we have to go through to archive those things, because you can't just shut them off.
Right.
They gotta be archived properly, and we just wanna have a inventory of every single Facebook page, because there were pages I didn't know existed. I didn't know we had a street page, a water page, a this page, or that page, and it's like they're all over the place. And if we're gonna rebrand and do a brand new website, we wanna make sure everybody has some consistency on the ones who have pages. There are some departments and things that need to still have them, and we're okay with that. We just wanna be very clear on what that process is. Like, we need a golf page. I don't want to post tea times on the Michigan City page. I mean, so it's not saying we're shutting down all pages, but we do need to know what pages are active and which ones aren't. And this is the step to get there. It's not, hey, just automatically shut down, but we do need to know if there are pages that are out there to figure out what makes sense and what doesn't. because having 50 pages doesn't make sense.
No.
And that's how we got to this point.
Is there any way we can help that?
Well, I'd just like to say, add to that, because
Hold on just a second. Is there any way we can help what you're trying to do? Is there any thoughts that you have about this group supporting what you all are attempting to do? Because I think it's very important for everybody to get in line.
Well, it's not that. It's not even about that. The ordinance is clear. We want to know where are their social media accounts and for instance, like you're a nonprofit, right? But for the money through the contract with the city, you exist unless you want to raise your own money, right? So that's my thinking. But if you're going to have events and things like that, we should be promoting them.
Right.
Do we need a separate page for that? If you guys going to have, if you're having like tons of events, that's different. But if you're going to have an event here and there and you want to promote it, well, the city should promote it then.
Right.
What's hard about that? Do you need a separate social media page to do that?
No.
So that is up to the, if you guys say, hey, but you haven't used one really. So I don't know if it's an issue. You know, is it really an issue if you haven't really been using it? Probably not. Now, is it an issue that you want to use it now because I'm putting this ordinance in place? Then, okay, that's another matter. Then I'll be like, why now?
No, right.
So it's really truly about consolidating and having all these things. We need to archive what we're not using and have a more robust presence on social media to provide information to the community. We should have an infographic. If you want an infographic made, I'll have one of the interns make one for you. And they'll post it right there on the Facebook page. No problem. So I think it's more a matter of consolidating, making sure we're consistent and concise in our messaging. And I just don't want to grow anything.
All on the same page. Go ahead.
I just wanted to say that I think the city should control all the pages. Social status, we had nightmares with that. We got a page that's open, we can't shut it down. And then we get certain members who want to put stuff on there that is embarrassing. I'm just gonna say that, it's just embarrassing. And we couldn't even shut it down. We couldn't do nothing to stop it. So I don't wanna have nothing to do with any of the social pages but my own, but it's a good idea. But I just think the city should control it all, because you should be able to see somebody putting some nonsense on the page, care if they're a member or not. It shouldn't go on the page to start off with. So I think that's a good thing, but I just have a problem with the conflict of interest. I wish that it was, from what I understand, we should not benefit from being on this board far as I go get a grant and come here and benefit from it. But I have a problem being totally candid that there's two individuals I know that sit on another board where they're receiving grant funds. And I could have sworn you was on the same page I was at a board meeting last year, and I declined to get on one board because it would have been a conflict. But these people receive serious grant money. So if we do it, if you're doing it, and you're doing it anyway, just make sure it's across the board for everybody. Nobody should be get on the board because they want grant money, $30,000 or $25,000 here or $10 here. Nobody should benefit like that. That's the wrong reason to sit on the board. Now, if you stop that, some of the members might just go away. You can find that out quick.
Too shame on Fred.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to add in on the social media. I did build a page
Good
a
point.
little bit last year, but it got pushed to the side as we went through the renewal process. So I did start to build it up. I put our purpose, I put what we do on our page, and that's about as far as it got.
And the other part of that was we brought it down because of what we were going through. We didn't want all of that out in the neighborhood. We didn't want that slinging back and forth because we were going through a lot. We wanted to keep it in-house as much as we could without causing the whole city to blow up with what we were actually experiencing and seeing ourselves personally. Good deal, you guys. Good discussion.
I did read over the ordinance, and maybe I missed it, but as you said, there's a lot of people that come and go, and there's ways that you cannot take that social media page or website back because the person's gone. I'm assuming the city is putting parameters in place, because there is turnover in the city as well, that no matter who is in charge in the city will still have control.
That's correct.
Okay.
One of the things I like about what you said, Mayor Angie, is the concern that if we have sort of outlier sites, that if somebody wrote something that Meta thought was inappropriate, the Meta will shut it down, and I'm thinking like, we don't want that happening. And I had a conversation with Gabriel. Initially, I was thinking like, oh, we should have our own website, and I'll spare you my little torture legal analysis on that. I promise not to make you listen to it. But having listened to you now, I like what you said.
Yeah, and I think as we go through this process of having a website that's more accessible, because I mean, there's times I can't find stuff on the website. It's hard to get information on our website. The website was built for people not to get information. I mean, quite frankly, just like our phone systems. Same
Oh,
thing.
God.
And a better website reflects better sort of from optics from folks out of town for Michigan City.
So that's the goal.
But thank you for addressing all those things that everybody keeps talking about in the neighborhood, because those are a couple of them for certain. Who do you get when you call City Hall? Just the runaround. So thank you for that. Absolutely. Any more discussion? You are welcome to come to any meeting to share with us any thoughts or anything that you feel we need to know. We have wanted that and welcome that wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
If it's helpful, I'm willing to put in time to help with our page or our posts, if that's helpful.
It will be helpful. Absolutely. We want that legal standpoint and that eye. So definitely want you at the table.
Not legal, just a
Well,
different set of eyeglasses.
Well,
that's all.
but you'll make sure that nothing goes out that doesn't need to go out, right?
Sure.
Correct. All right. Good deal. Any old business?
Officer election,
All right. Are we ready for that?
put off. It needs to happen.
We don't need to put that off anymore. And I hope you guys are still on Zoom, because we really do need to select these officers, because right now,
When's the term? Isn't it? Doesn't start January 1?
they're
Normally, yes.
There-
However, it got pushed back because of trying to get seats
We're supposed to have
filled.
one January 1 of 24.
We were supposed to have a meeting in January that would fill all of our. Well, we should have had our seats filled, but there was a little bit of a process to get all of our seats filled, so we pushed it back until we had a full board, and we're at least close to a full board now.
Did you hear that? The operative word is close
Yeah.
to a full board. So that conundrum kept pushing it back. We couldn't vote. We didn't have the people in place. We didn't have the bodies to vote folks. And right now we just have one
We
officer.
had 3 for a while on the board, like coming to the meetings,
Yeah,
so we could
3.
fill 4 seats with 3 people coming.
Where do we stand on filling up our board? I mean,
I shared the document with you. We have a business seat open right now, and then we have the governor's seats, which I've
yeah, the governor's.
been trying to get filled for the past year.
Y'all, that's not gonna happen.
Well, I did reach out to Senator Ryan Cole about the seat.
Okay.
I think they're, and I have a contact at the governor's office
Okay.
about appointing him to the board. So,
Pointing him to the board?
Rodney?
Yeah.
Rodney?
yes.
Right, because see, when we reached out last year to the governor's office, they told us that they were not going to be sending anyone. So it's really good that you're hearing different.
Not hearing different, I'm reaching out.
Okay.
Actually asking them to do it.
I
Okay.
contacted the AIEZ, which is the state UEZ people, and their attorney was supposed to handle it.
Well, my contact is Tyler in the governor's office.
Good.
So I'm reaching.
You can make it happen.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Mayor.
Rodney agreed to be on the board.
Well, Rodney, he's open to doing it, whatever he can, and
I'll be with him tomorrow if you need me to keep nudging him.
yeah, you can do that.
Good.
Yeah, please bug them.
Was there a resignation? Is a formal resignation for a seat?
Are you talking about for Jeremy?
Yes.
For Jeremy, it was.
Yeah, he's sending a letter.
But he wasn't an
Point of
officer.
order, we don't discuss,
Right, but he
when we
wasn't.
step down, we can do that off camera.
Right, but he wasn't an officer either.
It's an appointed position, so what does it matter
Yeah.
if it's on camera or not?
Well, that's the way we had our bylaws set up, and that's the way our attorney told us, we don't discuss that. It's like personnel
Who
issue.
appoints that position?
For Jeremy?
Yeah.
Just a second, pull up the document.
Because Jeremy was appointed through.
I can tell you here in a second.
Right. because of the work, right?
Yeah, he
The
was-
building. He was in the urban
So
enterprise
it
zone.
is, yeah, it's a mayor.
It's the mayor
So
office.
shouldn't I know?
Yep.
Mhm.
So it is a representative of a business located in the zone, and it does not need to be manufacturing because we have a manufacturing seat currently.
And it is a mayor's
It
position.
can be, but
Appointment.
it's not required to be.
Okay, well, and I,
You need to know.
yes,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, and all resignation goes to the appointing authority
Right.
or to the clerk's office so they can send it to the right appointing authority as well.
And that's something we do need to make sure that letter is filed.
From my office.
It's not filed. It do needs to be filed.
Did you receive it?
Yeah, we received it, but we need to file it. We
It
have
needs
it.
to be filed with me. I hold all my appointed
Okay.
positions in my office.
Okay.
But we shouldn't do officer elections to a full board.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen. You got to get officers. We don't even have a second check signer yet. And we got to have that because we're not gonna just let one person sign the checks. We got one officer, me. You need other officers at this table.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, we're only one short right now. We definitely need to get it done.
Let's start with the treasurer.
Right. Any motions?
I like to nominate Jim. I think he wasn't interested, but
Second,
All in favor? Bruce?
I,
What, I was just like, know what that entails.
We gonna help you. We gonna help you. We promise we gonna help you. You're not gonna be left
you
alone.
gotta sign the check, I believe.
That's right. But you're gonna do that anyway.
And then helping me with how you want the financial reports written, and then double checking everything with bank statements when we work together in financials.
And maybe meeting with the accountant
Yeah, that would be
Do
helpful.
we reconcile like once a month, once a quarter, like what do we do?
once a
We're
quarter.
supposed to be reconciling. That's
It's not like checks, right?
yeah, we don't. So basically, the conversation was: do you even really need to go through like your QuickBooks? Your bank statements are very clear, cut and dry. But when I imported everything into QuickBooks, it like double imported, and that's a conversation we can have. CLH was supposed to help me figure it out, and it hasn't happened yet. So
And your expertise will
it
be
will be very helpful.
essential. Bruce.
Expertise.
Bruce.
Bruce votes yes.
Nick.
Aye.
Tristan. Rodney.
Aye.
Tommy. Aye. Sylvia.
Aye.
Joe. Ayes have it. Congratulations, Jim.
Thanks.
And
Yay!
then you know, the secretary that is supposed to write minutes along with me. Anybody?
No.
I nominate Bruce.
We need to make sure that.
Second,
All in favor, Nick.
Aye.
Jim.
Aye.
Tristan.
Aye.
Rodney.
aye.
Tommy. Aye. Sylvia.
Aye.
Joe.
Aye.
Congratulations, Bruce.
Sure. Well, let's make it effective next time, because I've been listening, not writing. But-
Yeah, no, you're good.
You're good. Thank you. All right, then the last one on the roster would be the vice president.
Yep.
I'll nominate Tristan.
Is there a second?
Second,
I'll second.
Nick,
Aye.
Bruce,
Aye.
Rodney,
aye.
Sylvia,
Aye.
Joe,
Aye.
Tommy, aye. Ayes have it.
Aye.
Congratulations. Did I say Jim?
No.
I'm sorry, Jim. Aye, for the record. Congratulations.
Here we go.
Welcome.
So and then for the chair, does it just remain until you resign? Okay. Okay, then next is the chamber membership. So Danny is here to talk about that.
Go, Danny, go.
Yes, well,
Sorry, Mr. Wade.
I'm about to say the best for last.
Yeah, right.
Well, good evening, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Danny Hogan. I'm the membership director for the Michigan City Chamber of Commerce. I was in front of you last year to present just the different membership opportunities. I know there are a few new members here since last time, so a brief introduction. The chamber exists to be a resource for members, businesses, and the community to promote economic growth in the Michigan City area. We are a roughly 410 member organization with 70% of our businesses employing 10 people or less. We at the chamber are a 3-person organization, so we can definitely appreciate needing to wear many hats, and also for our business owners, really help them to connect with others in the area, whether it be through marketing, whether it be through attending different events, getting the word out about whatever they are looking for, helping with different savings programs. We have partnered with United Healthcare to provide health insurance at a discounted cost, which it helps to retain and attract talent for small businesses while still giving them those higher, bigger business benefits. I know currently right now with the Urban Enterprises membership, you are at a classic level, which you do get online directory and print directory when we go through that, ability to post any job openings, any now board positions should you need them, or any volunteer opportunities. If you do end up doing any events, any event opportunities on our community calendar to get the word out and let the community know more about them, or just more interaction or any news you would like to share with the community and to the members, we do share that out, and we do allow you to post those too. I know you have used our basement in the past, or lower level meeting space for meetings. That is something that is free of charge for members if they're looking for trainings, if they're looking for places to get away outside of the regular meeting space to have a spot to meet, or if you're looking to do any interviews or host any professional development pieces, that is something that is allowed for our members as well.
I want to jump in there real quick. The last time we met with the feds was at the Chamber of Commerce. We could not get a room from the city. For some reason, they were all taken. But the Chamber of Commerce, this was when we was wishing you was in the office and you weren't.
Isn't there a nonprofit rate that's cheaper?
There is not.
It used to be.
Used to be,
Oh.
yes.
But we didn't pay a dime. I mean, they.
For a membership we did, but not.
Right, you're talking about the membership. Yeah, for the rental, for the space, and they were very, very nice, and it was perfect because we got the Chamber of Commerce to support us. Was it the morning or the day before? It was either the morning or the day before.
It was like 11:30, but some of them were like off times. It was like 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was like at the last minute when we heard from the city we couldn't have the room. We contacted the Chamber of Commerce and they said, come on in. And it was important because the feds were coming all the way from Chicago to meet with us to talk about partnering. That's when we learned that they would also fund whoever we funded. They said we would match it. That's what they told us at the meeting. We have not had a chance to work with any businesses to do that match, but that's something that still we need to explore because they're still waiting for us for the partnership. So we need to do
We
it.
used that room several times.
Yeah, it was very, very helpful.
How much is it?
For the membership, or to use the room?
Membership.
$360 annually.
Which we're at that level right now, but we were looking to see if that was the appropriate level, if there was a higher level that
Yes.
we maybe needed to look at.
The next level up would be 900, which would still include everything in that, along with, should you decide to enhance your social media presence, we would be able to have an e-blast out to our membership. We would be able to share anything that you would have, that you would like us to share on our social medias. We do a member spotlight on social media, so we would tag the Urban Enterprise Association in those posts on LinkedIn, on our chamber page, and our Young Professionals page, so Lifelong Career Network. We would also have the ability to have category ads on our website, linking back to your website or whatever you would need, so more exposure. Or should you decide to build a brand new building for the association, we would provide what would be considered a premium ribbon cutting. So with that, instead of just bringing the big ribbon and scissors, we would invite elected officials to come, make a big deal out of this, invite our our media contacts, our board, our volunteers, and really make a bigger day for you.
I got a question. So last year, the board joined the Chamber of Commerce, correct?
Yep.
For a $360 rate.
Yep.
You're suggesting that we should pay the $900 rate?
No, we were just looking to explore and make sure that you all think that the 360 is the appropriate level and that that's where we should be. We weren't suggesting anything.
Okay, so I got a question for you then.
Yep.
How many businesses that are participating in the chamber are
I had that report before. I don't have it on hand right now. I can get it to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a good number.
Yeah, it was quite a few.
It's a good number.
Yeah.
It's the city supports the Chamber of Commerce very well.
Yeah.
But you mentioned some stuff that I was like, well, were you sitting in our last meeting, and how did you know about us trying to get our own building, and where did that come from? It's like, you a mind reader? What's that? What is that about? Okay, I digress.
Grandiose plans.
I got another question. So have we used any of the thing in the perks that we paid for already so far?
Yeah, we've gone to events. We've had networking opportunities through the chamber. We haven't used the news stuff as much because again we were working on getting more before and after pictures and kind of want to send it over and say, hey, this is what we're doing. So this year, whenever we get some projects finished, that is the goal, is to get everything sent over.
Tommy, you raised a point that I had in my mind. Is it sensible to be looking to see if there are any businesses in Michigan City, I'm thinking like Sullivan Palatech or something, that kind of be our sponsor for us? Is that a sensible thing? And if so, it seems getting active with the Chamber of Commerce could facilitate or enhance that occurring.
I believe that working with the Chamber of Commerce is a plus. That's just my personal opinion. I don't see us getting a business to be a sponsor to pay for us. I don't see that happening. But what I do feel like the Chamber of Commerce is another entity that can support our efforts in trying to get as many businesses to take the tax credit in the urban enterprise zone. That's how I see them supporting us, through their role at the Chamber of Commerce.
You've answered a second question in terms of if it's appropriate to think of us expanding our scope financially to be able to give more grants. That occurs by virtue of what you just said.
It all goes together.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would have to think so, and I was kind of thinking along the same lines.
It all goes together. Absolutely.
Because they would be the direct line to the new businesses and the existing businesses.
You got it.
And we can identify the ones that are in the urban enterprise zone, and then we can utilize the benefits through the chamber.
I like to see us integrated, circulated, and part of this goes to the very points that Tristan is raising. I don't want to sound too granular, but I want to see 50 folks trying to put windows in.
Absolutely, that's what we want. That's exactly what we want since day one. Take it and put it in the community. Let the people have that fund, that support that's earmarked for them. And I'll leave here if that's not what we're going to do.
Yeah, because if it's two, it's like, well, I'm happy with this two, but I'm thinking, why not? There's lots of homes over there.
We take as many as it'll apply, and as much money as we have in the system to give it out. That's what we want to do. That's our goal.
Yeah, well, I'm in favor of advancing our participation in the Chamber of Commerce to try to make this happen, what we're talking about.
And as Rodney has said 19 billion times, we've done more grants this year in this program than it's ever done before. So it's a true fact to the community.
Yeah, in the past calendar year.
Yeah.
Last calendar years.
I think for all intents and purposes for now, with so many new board members and things changing, we stick with the plan that we had before, or the membership level that we had before. Let the city implement a new website, see where that goes, see what kind of exposure maybe we get through the city's social media pages, and then maybe next year reconsider for the higher level.
Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
A second? Nick?
Aye.
Jim?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Tristan?
Aye.
Rodney?
Aye.
Sylvia?
Unfortunately,
They're gone.
connection with-
Tommy? Aye. Ayes have it.
Okay.
But I do want to see if there are opportunities for us to, like, as a group, become more active in the chamber and sort of enhance our profile there, et cetera.
I agree. I think if we're gonna pay for our membership, we need to utilize
Right.
it.
Right.
Well, Gabby does utilize it, and I recommend that when those events take place, feel free to go.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I encourage
Right.
you to tap us on the
Right.
shoulder.
Your members.
Join you for these.
nothing's preventing you, like Rodney said,
I
remember.
encourage you to volunteer us to accompany you on these events.
Sounds good.
Any other thoughts? Meeting adjourned.
Public comment?
Public comment.
Do we have public comment?
You gotta announce your speed timing.
Sorry, my bad. Any public comments? Come on, Mayor, with your public comment.
So a couple of things. First of all, thank you all for serving on the board. I do want to share that some of the commitments that and goals that I have, you're hitting on some of those. I mean, we're setting aside some money and looking for ways to put monies in organizations for home repair and maintenance. We haven't gotten there. I think that the urban enterprise can help with some of that. I do believe that if you're going to focus on local businesses and you're going to provide money, it should be for workforce development, not for, if you're going to give money to people, they shouldn't be charging for services. It should be free events. That's the way I see it. If the urban enterprise is supporting small businesses, they should be events that are focused on skill development, upskilling folks, and those things. We have about 20-something interns right now, and we've started implementing a leadership development program within the city for employees. And I think it's important as these businesses come online that Ivy Tech, we're looking to support them in a new building in this city. And I just want to make sure that we're moving forward in a positive way. I know that from multiple conversations and meetings and things like that, you know, we tend to keep having this conversation around what has happened previously in the EDC. So I did bring folders for all of you that you can get when we leave here with the contract and the bank statements and also the budgets from previous years so that you can see it for yourself. I think we need to move forward, not backwards, and continue to dwell and make accusations. And if so, bring forward what you need to do. Stop talking about it. It's over 18 months old and some of it's inaccurate. So what I implore you to do is to continue to give out the grants and do the good work so that we can move forward and stop going backwards. But I did bring a folder for everybody and printed that all out. If you want anything electronically, I do have things electronically as well, but I want to make sure that you had that so we can stop throwing out these miraculous numbers of what's being said. It's just, it needs to stop, and we just need to move forward and continue, because otherwise, I don't understand why we're dragging it on.
Could you just explain what you're talking about? Because I'm not sure.
Conversations and seeing people meeting at places and outside of the place, but talking about the EDC in particular, like they were stealing money. I think that has to stop. And I just want to say that publicly, because I don't think it's fair to the city in general. And
Okay, but what?
I don't want new board members to be giving one-sided information. If we're going to do that, then let them have a meeting with the EDC to explain their side as well. I just know that every time it's a continuation of, well, we went through all this stuff, but then let's just put it all out on the table and it was. But to have, you know, I think I was at Leeds the other day having lunch, and then, you know, again, it's just what it is. And I want us to move forward, because you're doing good stuff and you're doing things and going in the right direction. Let's not drag on old stuff. But I did bring that because I wanted everybody to have it, so that we can just cut the cord, you can review it for yourself, and then y'all move forward, and let's just continue to put the grants out and do that.
Part of those conversations were, these are the things we've been through, now how do we repair those relationships? And maybe that wasn't said to you because it was in the email before the conversations. And it was, you know, this has been long enough, we need to figure out how to all work together, because that's why we're here.
Yep, and that's correct, but I want them to have information, because I hearing, you know, numbers and stuff thrown out. you can see the numbers for yourself.
I don't, what numbers are you talking about?
Just bank records. I heard that there was, $3 million and all these other figures, and I'm like, that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
We have the statement.
Yes, yes, it
It's
is.
true.
But in the last 2 years,
Well,
or
can I
last
see it?
13 years.
Yes.
Yes, I think she's making a valid point.
Yes, you can.
I would like to hear both sides of the story.
Yes.
I think she's making
Yeah,
a
we'll
valid
give,
point.
we'll give it to you.
I'm not trying to argue with you.
We are open.
And
Yes.
regarding
And we have documentation that we can share that states how much money was in the account. So there is no accusations being, okay, but there's no
No.
okay,
If that's the case, then
It just seems
$3
like
million.
everything's offensive.
because we're only talking 2 years. 2 years.
we're talking $2,897 and some odd cents is what we're talking about. But it is in the past, and we've made that real
But
clear.
As a city executive, I want to know that.
We-
If there's $2 million that's missing, we need to be going after whoever it is.
When we-
That's not something you cut off.
Right, when we reached out to the Economic Development Council to have a meeting with the board regarding what we had found, they told us they weren't interested in meeting with us.
Well, I'm trying to understand what bank records, because I have the Horizon Bank
No,
records.
there was another account. There was a PNC.
PNC.
It was a
That's
transfer,
my
it was one
point.
transfer. but we
That's
moved.
my point right there. That's criminal, if that's the case.
I'm very much aware of
If
it.
that's the case, that needs to be shared with everybody.
It was shared with everybody. She even filed, hold on. She filed a grievance with the city in the mayor's office
And
in regards to all of this that was going on.
Records with the documentation and everything.
that
Nothing
needs
was
to
done.
be shared.
It was shared with the mayor's office. It was shared.
I'll bring it back to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that
Thought
is
we
the
wasn't all
thing
we had,
that should be, that should.
No,
and I'll
she's
cut
right.
off.
No, she's right.
Make her
But what
go.
I will say is, even with the mayor, that should have went to the state police.
Tell us about it.
That's what I'm saying.
Tell us about it. We know.
It should-
We know.
Sounds like the mayor has some documentation, and it sounds like there's
Well, no, I'm
other.
only talking, if there's another bank account, that should be shared, because I spoke to someone specifically, and they said, you wouldn't be getting as much as Hammond and all that. I don't know why you would have millions of dollars. So, I know, I'm just
Go to our bank account from 2 years ago and now look what we have now.
Or talk to any other UEZs. Talk to any other UEZs in and around the
Call her.
metropolitan area. I
And
mean,
that's why I
It
said
was.
it should be
It was.
said in a public
It
meeting.
was. I
Because
don't know who
those are
talking in
things
public
that
meetings.
should not, that we need to, if that's the case,
it was shared in a public meeting. It's on video, Mayor. It's on video. We have it on video. He captured it, us addressing him about this money. It's on video.
Accusing anybody specifically.
Because we weren't there.
Did something because we didn't know.
We
I
weren't
think we're
there.
getting sidetracked. Point of order, I think we're getting sidetracked.
Again, I'll finish my comment.
more
I'll
than,
finish my
yeah,
comment.
more than
Let me
happy.
finish my comment.
Yes.
My comments are this, that if that has happened, I need to know so that we can get to the bottom of it. It should not be something that's swept under the rug, is what I'm saying. And I want to make sure, if there's another account that nobody knew about, that should be shared as well and accounted for. Because that's a lot of money.
Hence why we're having the conversation and not sweeping it up under the rug.
And
That is exactly why we had it with every board member, Tristan, Jim, Bruce. This is why we gave you all that information, because we had the documentations in front of us. We saw it. We know when it disappeared. When it left from PNC Bank and went to Bank Horizon, it was not the same amount that left PNC Bank. PNC Bank had millions. Bank Horizons received
Point of order.
50,000.
Point of order, I
appreciate it.
I move that we allow our executive director to share the information that they have with the mayor, the current mayor office, and then we have a public meeting.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea.
I'll second that. Motion for that. Can I add an amendment to it?
Yeah, please.
What?
Can we invite the EDMC to come as well then? I mean, since you seem like they seem like a focal point in the situation.
No, not at this time.
Oh.
I think at some point we might want to do that, but not at this time. There is definitely some stuff that needs to be taking place, and I think the mayor is the ideal person to maybe start that conversation. And I now understand where you're coming from. I didn't, but I do now. And I think that it's okay that we move forward in trying to figure out how to build this relationship with EDC, because Gabrielle has been speaking to it. But there are things that has to be addressed.
Is there a second on the floor?
I think everybody seconded it.
Yeah, I think
Does
we
anybody want to take credit for the second?
Let's do a vote, because I want to ask Mayor a different question.
I heard Jim second first.
Jim?
Aye.
Bruce?
Aye.
Tristan?
Aye.
Rodney?
Aye.
Bruce, I already said you didn't I?
It's all right. I'll go aye again.
Nick?
I'm from Chicago.
Rodney?
Aye.
Tommy? Aye. Are they still gone?
Yeah.
Okay. Ayes have it.
Mayor, can I go back to a much less inflammatory point? Is there a role that Ivy Tech plays in terms of like Tommy's idea and Tristan's idea, try to get some job training, et cetera? Is this a dialogue that, like, we invite Ivy Tech to a meeting and is that appropriate?
I think it's appropriate.
I'm on investigation.
Gina
I was gonna say, I have a really good relationship with Gina.
Also,
It would be good.
Yeah.
I think to that same point, obviously some of us, do workforce development for a living, and I've had at least one conversation with Tristan. I think that's something that this board needs to focus on. It is in the bylaws, it is an option.
We want to do
for
it.
us to use funding towards workforce development, so I definitely think we need to focus.
Yeah, I think Ivy Tech is a massive, because it's one monolithic junior college throughout the state, and they're just right down the street. It's like, what a resource.
Yeah.
It's the
Absolutely.
largest college in Indiana.
Really?
Most of
One
the
of the
students.
largest in the country.
Is it the country? Yeah.
Wow.
Most of the students are.
And it would be smart to do it.
I did a lot of my school.
I see those kids in my neighborhood got nothing to
Okay,
do.
was there anything else?
Them to
Yeah, I have-
taxpayers.
I have a public comment. Okay, any more public comments?
I have one. We talk about repairing relationships, and the last administration wasn't that friendly with us. I don't know what the ultimate reason was, but like I said before, I'm moving on past that right now. We definitely need to start having our attorney here. That's I'll talk to you off the camera on that. But it's imperative that economic development, ourselves, and redevelopment, it works hand in hand. When Burnham Brewery was given so much from the city, and then they don't have to pay into the tax base that will help the people in the urban enterprise zone, and their business is in the urban enterprise zone, there needs to be some kind of memorandum of understanding. We all for economic development and to a degree, but they should make sure that that we also the UEZ is a part of it. And because we do have tax abatements that we can offer that's higher than what they can offer, right? Mm-hmm. We have stuff in our toolbox, but again, if we don't have a partnership, this kind of is getting harder to do when you open up businesses in the urban enterprise zone and they don't pay into the tax base. So with that being said, Madam Mayor, I hope that you will assess the situation. It should make no difference who's sitting on the board. If a person's a Republican or a person didn't support you, no matter what, we must serve them no matter what. And it just behooves me on why we got here and how we got here. And I don't want to have this conversation no more about the finances at a public meeting. I thought we all agreed on that. Moving forward, I just think that whatever the mayor wants, the mayor's office want, as long as we check with our attorney, just give it to them. So let's see what they can do. God bless them. I want you to go after them. I don't think you're gonna like who's gonna get strung out. And I think it might just go away, but I hope something do happen. Thank you.
Any more comments? Any more concerns? Mayor?
No.
Meeting adjourned.
Thank you. I would like to.